Okay, for this one, this worksheet front and back, I'm going to do number 12 in the front and number 1 because it has, those are notes. And then I'm going to do number 4 in the back for this video only. On the next video, I'll do the one on number 7 where it's all the exponent questions and examples. Okay, so here it says that they're showing you quadratic. It says what is the best estimate of the positive value of x for which this function equals to 8. When it says that the function equals to 8, they're talking about y equals to 8. Okay? So if you go look at the y and see where it equals to 8. Okay, right here. It would equal to 8 here and here at these 2 points. But it's only asking me for the positive value of x. So this would be the positive side. This is the negative side over here. So we don't want to know about the negative numbers. We only want to know about the positive numbers. And we're not talking about right here where it crosses. We're talking about up here, this point, where y equals 8. What does the x equal to? Okay? And that's it. That's how you find the answer. The answer is D. Okay, right next to it, problem number 1. We have to write down some notes. These are notes that I'm going to give you so that you can answer problem 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so they gave you the equation, and this is a quadratic because it has square. And we're only talking about the a, that means the number in front of the x squared, and c, that means the number that doesn't have an x. Okay, so here, the value of a is greater than 1. So what happens when this number right here is greater than 1? Okay, for example, what if it's a 2, or a 3, or a 4, or a 5? The graph is going to get narrow. And this is an example, like narrow, skinnier, thinner. Okay? So example numbers, a equals 2, or a equals 5, or a equals 7. Okay? It's going to be narrow. This one says, what if the value of a is less than 0? Those are negative numbers, okay? Negative numbers make it open downward. It opens downward. Because anything less than 0, those are negative numbers. Okay, so if the a is negative, then you know that the graph is going to open downward. Okay? The next one, the value of a is greater than 0, but less than 1. So think about it. Greater than 0, it's positive numbers. Okay, positive. But less than 1. That means we're talking about decimals, positive decimals, positive, and then less than 1, those are decimals. That means if this a is a decimal number, okay, it's going to open wide. It's going to be a wide graph like that. Okay, the smaller the number, the wider the graph is going to be. Okay, down here it says, what happens if the value of c is greater than 0? Greater than 0, those are positive numbers. C moves the graph up or down. Okay, up or down. So if it's positive numbers, it's going to move the graph up. Okay? And if the value of C is less than 0, those are negative numbers, it's going to move the graph down, move down. So I want you to use those notes to answer question 2, 3, and 5. Okay? But you can also put equations. You can put the equations in y equals, like this one and this one. Put them in y equals trace and see how they differ. How are they differ? How does this one differ from this one? How is it different? Okay? Same thing here. It says, what happens when the graph of y equals ax, when the value of a changes from 2 to 5? So one of the equations would have a 2, and the other equation would have a 5. So what happens when if you put this in the calculator, or if you go by the notes that I just said, what happens from here to here? On the back page, number 4. So it says you have this equation. Okay, so we want to know what the C is. Is a parabola with a vertex above the origin. Vertex above the origin. Remember, the origin is this dot right here, the middle. So if it's above it, that's any of these numbers, and those are all positive numbers. So it has to be something that is greater than 0. Okay? Greater than 0. Not equal to 0. Equal to 0 would be the vertex. We don't want it to be the vertex. We want it to be above the vertex. Up. Okay? And I'm going to make another video just for problem number 7, so make sure you watch that one.